Shalom family. I'm not going to be here for long, y'all, but I just need to come and share something with y'all right quick. Every time I get ready to do a live, I always think about not doing it right before I do it. But anyhow, y'all, we got to have a talk. I just need to share this testimony with y'all. And if it looks like I've been crying, then I have. But I'm going to tell y'all why. I was trying to wait for a few people to get here, but I don't want to take a long time. Anyhow, so good morning, honey. Like a week or two ago, I did a live, and on this live, I was talking about child sex trafficking, and I was talking about my business and some other stuff in a contest that I was in. So I'm going to give you my testimony, and with it, you'll get the reason why I was crying. So this morning, I wake up, and I had, I don't want to say a lot on my mind, but I had a few things that were jumbled together on my mind. I don't even remember what I dreamed about last night, and that's very unusual. So anyhow, I heard something say, listen to John Boy. Go on YouTube and look at John Boy's channel. So if you don't know who John Boy is an artist, and he's an influencer in the KARADYAH community. So me knowing what type of person John Boy is, I learned from lives and from music, and how the KARADYAH'S let me know what I can depend on from this man and not. And my husband led me to him through his music. So I was on Facebook this morning, and I saw some posts by John Boy, and that's whenever I got the message to go on his channel. And his name is spelled JOHNBOYE if you want to go on YouTube to find him. So I went to his channel, and he has a podcast called The Boycast, and I was watching. And the first 2 episodes were pretty short. The third one had an inventor who invented the 3D machine. So anyhow, y'all, I'm sorry, I'm trying to get it together. So I was listening to the podcast. Now let's stop right there and let me take you back a few days. So a few days ago, I'm looking at the news, because for those of you who did watch that live, you will notice that I was telling you that the people, I was one of the kids that they had stolen, but I had my adult mind. And I was telling the children, come on, no, don't go with them. Like, we don't know them. They're bad guys. And they weren't listening to me. I don't know what it was. But anyhow, like I was telling my husband the other day, since I did have my adult mind, I was able to persuade them to get away. But some of them I couldn't save. Some of them were hurt right before my eyes, and I was laying there with them. I was beside them while things were going on. And whenever we were being transported, it was a lot of us. So I was looking at the news, y'all. And the moral of this story is a few things, but one of them is we got to pray. Y'all have no idea the effect that prayer can have on the biggest things. You might think that you don't have, like, you have no say, but it has a huge effect. So anyway, I was looking at the news, And they let me know that just recently in this apartment, they had all of these children in there, y'all. That it was some cross-dressing men who had all of these children. And they were hidden in the apartment. And I told y'all, I took some kids somewhere, and I didn't even know that they were going to take the children. And whenever I came back, all of them were gone. So I remember whenever I first started having dreams, I was a kid, and I would ask my mama, what is it that I'm supposed to do about this? Why is it being shown to me? And she'll say, baby, because God wants you to pray about it. So that's what I did, y'all. And just to hear that news report, it's fantastic because the father ain't gonna lie. He said, ask for it and have faith. And if you don't lose your faith, then you can have whatever it is that you want. So, excuse me, this is the second time that he showed me, and I prayed about those children. And then a few days later, they would rescue all of these kids. So this morning, whenever I was listening to John Boy's podcast, he said that while the situation with, oh my goodness, I'm sorry. There was a situation that was going on in the news with the submarine, and that people were saying we were distracted from something. So he said, well, this is what we were being distracted from. That a bunch of high-priced hotels, 5-star hotels, were being sued because a couple went into their room and the wife went in the closet and there was a cord hanging out of the wall, and whenever they pulled it, it led to a camera. And behind the wall was a trap door that has so many children in it. And it was a list of at least 20 of them. And I told y'all that they had us in a hotel and they were taking us to the back of the hotel. But it was a place where I had lived before, and it's impossible for you to go in the back wall of this place. There's no way for you to walk around there. You can go around the back of the building, but we were in the inside of the building, but in the back of it. And it was just so many children. And the Most High is setting these kids free. And I'm so thankful, y'all. Because it wouldn't be right for me to come to y'all and bring y'all this news of these horrible things that I can see and I can feel, and I can see children running. I can see women and men that I have never seen before. And I remember their faces, and they just being taken, y'all. Nothing that they can do about it. but just go with these people. And the Most High is tearing it down. So y'all pray. You might not feel like your prayer is going nowhere past the front door. But I prayed, y'all. This has not been a month. It's been like 2 weeks. And no, it's been a week. And to Yah be the glory for his angels, for his actions, for even listening to me, for listening to Siobhan. She's all the way in Tanzania. Hold on a second, y'all. She's all the way in Tanzania. And I started having these dreams maybe 2 or 3 years ago. And I knew to pray about it. And like I said, I did pray at one point. I did pray. And the first time I prayed about it, the Most High rescued 300 children within a matter of days of me praying that prayer. And I thought that it would be a continuation of these things ending right behind each other. And it has, because at the time Donald Trump was the president, and he stopped a lot whenever it came to these people preying on these children. So once he was gone, the dreams started coming back. And I'm not saying he was upholding anything as in stopping it from happening. I'm saying while he was pursuing it, the Father was acting on behalf of the prayers. So one more thing I want to share with y'all, then I'm going to let y'all go. Lately, I've been having dreams about men, women, and children being taken. And these dreams started a little while ago. I had a dream I was in a building, and we were all running. It was no kids with us. It was just adults. But all of us was in good shape, health-wise. People who are very comely. People who are strong. And it wasn't a whole lot of fat people there. It wasn't a lot of old people, but there was a few. And anyhow, we ran away and we got on the roof. And there was soldiers who were dressed from head to toe, but they were cops. And I know they were cops because my daddy was a cop, but they had some military training. And they was just rounding all of us up and lining us up, but they were shooting people, but they wasn't shooting everybody. It was like a selective type thing. But they was coming out and they was just blasting certain people. But we were on the roof and we was looking down at the ground as they were coming. The police were coming out of a building across from us, and people were running, trying to get into that building until they saw the cops come out. I don't know what it was about, but I know in the end, a lot of us just took off running and we jumped off the roof because it wasn't like a high building. It was like 2 stories. If anything, you would twist your ankle. That's how high it was. So then I had another dream that we were inside of, I think it was the same mall that they were holding those children in when I told y'all that there were kids being held in the back of this mall. And also I dreamed about that mall again, and there were grown people being held there in these, like, you know how you go and buy the individual dog cages that are made out of chain link fences? They had people inside of those fences. It was men, women, and children. But in the back of the mall, they had women who were being forced to sleep with these men. Some of them, I tried to get them to run with me and they wouldn't even leave. So recently, I had another dream where they had us all in this building. And there was this Asian girl who was there. And they was just torturing her so badly. It got to the point to where I was like, I just can't deal with this no more. But everybody else was either laughing at it because they was there for whatever services. I don't even know what we were doing there. But they had men in bondage also. So I remember what took the cake was whenever I saw them stick this needle in this girl's back. And the man was like, you better not scream out loud. But it was so many people around us. We weren't even in a big room. It was people right on the other side of the wall. And when I saw him stab her in her back with that needle and just snatch it out and I heard her scream, I was like, somebody got to do something about this. Like, it's too many of us here, but y'all, I got to point out something that consistently in all of these child sex trafficking dreams and all of these dreams where they taking just people, period, there is always this one man. He looked like he might be of European and Spanish descent or like German. And he has all of this money. And he's getting people and he's doing whatever he wants to do to them. So anyhow, they put me in captivity because I tried to help her. And they put me in this ice bucket. I saw this guy step out of it. And then they made me stand in it. And they stripped me naked to make me shame. Because in the Bible, you being naked is shameful. If somebody, it's shameful. If you're not married to that person, you're not supposed to see them naked, or if you're not their parent, washing them or something. But it's shameful for you to be naked. And he did that to me. And at the end of the dream, y'all, after I had to fought these people and they had to beat me a little bit, they beat up this man, they was starving him, they was starving me. And I was just crying, y'all. It got to the point to where I remember there was a whole 48-hour period in that dream to where I was just crying and crying, just purposely crying because I was in despair, y'all. Nobody was coming to save us. And it was young black people that was walking through there. They was like, you see that lady? They was talking about me. I hadn't even seen myself. You see that lady? She looked terrible. She looked so old and dirty. And I was like, are they talking about me? So somebody called me to the back door. This was a warehouse, y'all. I did not know we were in a warehouse until the person opened up the back door and I stepped out there and I saw my mama was across the street standing at the stop sign. And whenever she saw me, I just got terrified because I was like, no, mama, they gonna get you. And she was like, baby, what is wrong with you? Why are you looking like that? I was like, mama, you don't need to be here. You just need to go. I need you to leave. And she was like, baby, what is it? Somebody that I can go get? And I was like, call the police. And then I was like, no, you can't even call the police because the police know what's going on. It wasn't all of them. By all means, I would not say that. It was not all of them. But the ones who mainly patrolled that area, because whenever I got outside, I kind of recognized where I was, but I can't tell y'all where that was now. I can see it in my mind. I can describe to you most likely what the area looks like, but it feels familiar, but I'm not sure where it is. And they had all these people in there, men and women, but there was no children there with us this time. It wasn't no specific race who was there with us. And if y'all remember from my last live, I told y'all, me and Viola Davis and one of her friends were in a warehouse with thousands of people. And they were separating the men and the women, some. And others of us worked in servitude But it was such a jumble of people, you really didn't know what was going on until you saw people going to whatever section they were sent to. And some of the guards who were guarding us, this was a warehouse that was in the back of a mall. They was connected some kind of way. It was like, it was always a warehouse that they staged to be this big old beautiful. No, it was a school. I'm sorry. It was a school that sat on this side, and it was connected to a mall on this side. And in the back of that school and the mall, all hooked together, was a warehouse. And that's where they kept us at. And the guards, they cut the fence, the chain link fence. It's always a chain link fence. They never hold the people in anything strong. But they cut the chain link fence, and I remember Viola ran and slid up under the fence like she did a baseball slide or something. And I slid up under behind her. Then the other lady, I don't even remember if she got away or not. But y'all, I'm telling you, this is happening. If you didn't see the beginning of this live, please rewind it, watch it again, share it with somebody. And the moral of the story that I am getting is pray. I didn't get on my knees and pray, but I gave the Most High a effectual, fervent prayer. Me and my husband was talking about this the other day. Fervent is referring to intensity, and it's also referring to fire or heat. But the important part that the Spirit has been drilling into me in the last 4 or 5 years is the effectual part. Causing an effect. Effecting something. Shaking something. Moving something. Causing something to happen. The effectual, fervent prayer of the righteous. The effectual, fiery prayer of the righteous availeth much. And so on and so forth. So, the Father wants us to pray. This situation is not out of our hands. I have prayed, and I have come back, and I have told y'all a few times that the Most High is stopping these traffickers from doing what they do, because in the end, He is going to win. Regardless of how bad it may look, in the end, He is going to win. And He has been showing us consistently that if we come to Him and we ask Him, because we are the people, if you come to Him and you ask Him, then He will do it. And stop not praying for these kids. Pray for children. We will have no future if we let the children die. Pray for the children. Use your angels and send your angels. They will go and they will protect whoever. I'm telling you, because I just did this. And I'm making this video to give y'all the testimony of what the Most High did on the behalf of the prayers that have been going out. A lot of us in Israel have been banding together and praying about this child trafficking thing because, like I told you, somebody that we follow in Tanzania brought it to a lot of our attention. And then I made a video about it, and somebody else made a video about it. This is going on. They're trafficking kids. They're having sex with children. They are hurting children. And I didn't even tell y'all the worst part about the kids that they just recently found in the apartment. That first was my first confirmation from the Most High. They had the kids locked up in a back room. And in the living room, all you see is sex toys and drugs. Cross-dressing men is what the news anchor said. He didn't say trans women. He didn't say trans men, nothing like that. He said cross-dressing men. Had little kids, 10 children, I believe he said, in a room, in the living room, and had them in an apartment building that was disgusting and dirty, with sex toys and drugs and alcohol everywhere. Pray for these children. Pray for the men and the women around you. Send angels to your family members and your friends. Send angels to your neighbors. Call the angels and ask them to come and stand around the premises of where you live. Y'all, I have seen the Most High clear out the most dangerous situations that a person could live in. Clear out the most disgusting people from around us. Because we asked the Father to. Because we asked him to put angels up around. And y'all would be so shocked at how quickly these people went away. How every time they would try to come around, people who lived there would make them feel so bad that they would just leave. And they haven't returned, even though we're gone. So yeah, pray for the children. Seek the Father and cause an effect. Go to him and let him know you are the one who told us to come to you. You made every last one of us. You formed us and you put us on this earth in these wretched conditions. Yeah, we helped to get ourselves here, but you told us to come to you and that your name, Yahweh. Psalm 68:4, y'all. That your name is a strong tower for the righteous to run in and be safe. Call him by his name and ask him to send his angels. You call the angels and you tell them to stand around your premises and to destroy anything and everything that comes there to cause harm. And it will be done. All right, family. I love y'all. Shalom. Thank you for coming to listen.